Good morning, my dear loving children, and welcome back to Vidyanagar Public School's online class. Today, we will continue the chapter The Legend of the Blue Bonnet. And in the last class, we discussed at the beginning of this chapter, right? Yes, and we have seen how people are dancing and praying to the Great Spirit in order to get back their beautiful life back, right? In order to get back rain and in order to avoid famine, poverty, and all, right? Yes, till this stage they were suffering from great famine, poverty, and there is no rain at all, right? Yes, so the people's life is so miserable and so bad. So they were praying to God, right? Yes, and after praying, what God said or what the Great Spirit said, people all became very selfish. So, in order to get back the beautiful life back, they have to sacrifice their valuable possessions, right? Yes. Then what's happening next? We will see. So you may take page number 125 of your textbook. The people sang the songs of thanks to the Great Spirit for telling them what they must do. I'm sure it is not my new boat that the Great Spirit wants, a warrior said, or my special blanket, a woman added, as everyone went to their teepees to talk and think over what the Great Spirit had asked. So, people were saying and they were talking each other about what they will sacrifice, and at that time people all sang certain kind of songs in order to satisfy, in order to say thankfulness, in order to express their thankfulness to the Great Spirit, because Great Spirit advised them what they must do to get their life back, to get the rain, right? Everyone, that is, except she who is she alone, is she held her doll tightly to her heart. You, she said, looking at the doll, you are my most valued possession. It is you the Great Spirit wants. And she knew what she must do. As the fire died out and the teepee's flaps began to close, the small girl returned to the teepee where she slept to wait. So she understood what she has to give up or what she has to sacrifice, because the doll is her most valuable possession, right? The night outside was still except for the distant sound of the night bird with the red wings. Soon everyone in the teepee was asleep except she who is alone. Under the ashes of the teepee fire, one stick still glowed. She took it and quietly crept out into the night. She ran to the place on the hill where the Great Spirit had spoken to the shaman. Stars filled the sky, but there was no moon. "O Great Spirit," she who is alone said, "here is my warrior doll. It is the only thing I have from my family who died from the famine. It is my most valued possession. Please accept it." So, what she is doing here, she is actually sacrificing her most valuable, most valued doll, right? Yes, and she is telling to accept her sacrifice. Then, gathering twigs, she started a fire with the glowing fire stick. The small girl watched as the twigs began to catch and burn. She thought of her grandmother and her grandfather, her mother and her father, and all the people, their suffering, their hunger, and before she could change her mind, she thrust the doll into the fire. So once she put the doll into the fire, she reminded of her ancestors, her father, mother. Then she watched until the flames died down and the ashes had grown cold. Then, scooping up a handful, she who is alone scattered the ashes to the homes of the winds, and north and west, south and west. and there she fell asleep until the first light of the morning sun woke up. Yes, when her doll burnt into ashes, she scooped a handful and she scattered it all around, right to the west, north, and all directions. She scattered the ashes. And when the morning came, or when the sun woke up, she looked out over the hill and stretching out from all sides where the ashes had fallen. The ground was covered with flowers, beautiful flowers, as blue as the feathers in the hair of the doll, as blue as the feathers of the bird who cries J J J. When the people came out of their teepees, they could hardly believe their eyes. They gathered on the hill with She Who Is Alone to look at the miraculous sight. There was no doubt about it. The flowers were a sign of forgiveness from the Great Spirit. So, what's there? Yes, when she woke up, she saw that the hill is covered with beautiful blue flowers, right? And the people also became so happy. People understood this miraculous sight is because of her, and it is a sign of forgiveness, right? Yes, the Great Spirit had forgiven their mistakes, their bad deeds. And as the people sang and danced their thanks to the Great Spirit, a warm rain began to fall and the land began to live again from that day on. So because of that happiness, people all started to dance and sing. Then what came? The rain started to befall the earth, right? Yes, they got their life back. And from that day on, the little girl was known by another name, one who dearly loved her people. So from that day onwards, she came to known as one who dearly loved her people. Like that, she came to be known. And every spring, the Great Spirit remembers the sacrifice of the little girl and fills the hills and valley of the land now called Texas with the beautiful flowers, even to this very day. Yes, what's that? Yes, in every spring season, the Great Spirit remembered this girl's sacrifice. The sacrifice, right? Yes, and what's happening? The hill all filled with the beautiful flowers, and it is happening till now also. These days also, it is continuing. Every spring, this is happening in that place. So this is how the story is ending. Okay, so we will see the live session and discuss more. Okay, till then, take care, my dear loving children.